here with Hayley. She's a guest here at Africa Fashion Week London. Thank you and welcome to JamRock.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's been an incredible experience and a wonderful time.
Is this your first time at the show?
Yes, it's been my very first time. It's been really interesting to come and see.
What did you think about the show, the collections?
I didn't unfortunately get to see much of the collections because I've been helping outside doing some interviews, but what I did see, it was really interesting to see the mixture of heritage with kind of modern structure and shapes. Some interesting hairstyles, some that I might be stealing. Trying to think what else. Very uniquely beautiful models. Some of it unfortunately wasn't to my taste, if I had to be honest. I think I'd come with a certain expectation. I may not have received that, but overall I had a wonderful experience and met incredible women.
And you spoke about hair. That's what I want to talk about today. This natural hair movement that everybody seems to be jumping on. Have you always been natural?
No, I actually haven't. I used to use relaxer and wear a different weave every month that used to get it done. My women's Sada was my go-to. Without her, my life would have ended. Like when she went on holiday, I could virtually cry.
Right.
No, so I kind of went on a journey, and it wasn't long before I moved to London, but I'd kind of started to look at my hair and kind of question my motives.
So how long ago did you decide to then have natural hair?
So I've nearly been in London for 2 years, and about 6 months before that I decided to stop relaxing my hair and stop with the weaves. Not that I have anything against weaves, and I have to make that evident because I think a lot of people think you're either pro-natural or pro-weave, or you're on team this or team that. I'm not. If the right time comes, or when I want to do certain things, like I've been thinking of getting the green edges or the purple edges at the bottom of your head, I would never dye my own hair personally because my texture just doesn't deal with it well. But what I would do is happily get a weave because I think there's fun in having versatility. But I think in terms of relaxing, I would never relax my hair again because in my mind now I question why on earth would I have put such a harmful chemical on my head where my brain exists. It just doesn't seem logical, but it wasn't my decision.
To stop, did you do a big chop or did you do extensions and let it grow out?
I didn't do the big chop. I was really, really scared. So I grew up in Scotland where, like, I don't know if anybody knows, but we've got very few black people actually. In fact, it's growing now. So I was too scared to go something so drastic because I think something about your hair completely shifts and changes your whole image. And it is one of those things like, if your hair's not having a good day, you almost don't want to leave the house. I mean, you can put a different outfit on, change up. If your skin's broke up, you can put makeup on. But certain things with your hair, you can't cover up and you can't shape and style. So if I got rid of all my hair quite a lot, then I would have felt too vulnerable. And I think because it would have been so drastic for all my friends to have seen, I'd been short with relaxer, but I couldn't face being short with real hair. And I remember going through this, and I decided to take out the weave and grow it out. So I literally had 2 different textures. People must have thought, this girl needs to brush her hair at one point, and my grandma was like, okay. But my dad was super supportive because he never wanted my hair relaxed in the first place. He had always said that he loved my natural hair and it was what made me beautiful. But I suppose growing up, I grew up in a predominantly white environment in a suburb. I didn't feel as pretty as any of the other girls. I had my own issues with dysmorphia, anorexia, various other things. And I think looking at myself in the mirror, I didn't feel as beautiful as anybody else because I didn't look like the other girls. So for all I ever wanted was either to move back to Africa and be darker with cool hair, or living in Scotland, I just wanted to have long European hair that would wave and sway and match everybody else's and do all the styles that they could do that just wasn't achievable. Because when you relax your hair, I don't know if everybody feels that, but your hair only grows to a certain level for a certain type. So my hair was not growing past year. Now it's about year. Just wasn't moving, so that was beneficial to them.
And how do you take care of your hair? What's your regime?
I wouldn't say I'm lazy because I actually like to do my hair, but I'm not.
I'm lazy.
I'm in between. I'm not OCD on it and I'm not lazy, but I'm not overly keen on too many products. And one of the things since being natural and since kind of reading and discovering, I've started cutting out some stuff. So even my skincare, I don't use anything with sulfites, parabens, mineral oil, silicone, anything like that. So even in my hair, I find that shampoos and stuff, and I use one branded thing I always use and I swear by is Moroccan oil products. Not so much the oil for me, but the actual shampoo and conditioner I find does wonders for my hair, and there's no parabens, no sulfites. and I swear by that, it works for me. I'm not a big changer, even though I know I should probably try a lot of products and kind of broaden my horizons. Kind of listen to my hairdresser, and she makes me up little potions and stuff with like vitamin E oil and almond oil and stuff like that. But there's sometimes I let it go, and then I kind of put it up on my head, or I do my African scarf around it. But I find that really cool because I think I can be more versatile. If I really want, I can go and get my hairdresser to blow it out if I need it straight for an evening.
So you think that natural hair is easier because you can do more with it? Because some people say that natural hair is harder.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this because for so long, one of the things that stopped me going natural or stopped me doing these things was because I was like, it's going to be so hard, I'm going to be tricky. And if I look back, it was just as difficult with relaxed hair because when you went out and it was humid, and bear in mind I lived in a city that rained all the time, your hair would slowly go boom, 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 and then you'd have like this mushroom head, and it just was not attractive. I thought going out, going to look like Hayley there or someone. Not achieving that, and it was this mushroom head of hair, and it like used to get you really down because you'd be out with your friends and you'd be like, why does my hair not stay, or like you always used to feel
I
it.
thought that once you relaxed your hair it always stayed. I thought the humid thing was only natural hair people that got affected by the humidity.
No, the difference is it doesn't do the curly thing, but it does the wide thing. So it's like, remember those things, those little monsters used to put water in, they used to like grow. It was like that with your hair, and I always remember, especially at the back, you used to feel it start getting bigger there. So if you'd been a club dancing and you could feel it start to get big, and your friends are like, you don't look like you did when you came out. And it used to make you feel more conscious, but though I have nothing against people who have relaxed hair. And one of the other reasons, I'll be very honest, is I went to some salons in Scotland, they didn't do a good relaxed job, and it was really bad. So my little Scottish granny learnt to relax hair, so she wasn't a professional, which was one of the other things. I do remember having my hair relaxed in places like South Africa, and when they did it, it moved and it waved and stuff, so sometimes it's the skill behind it, and I have seen some beautiful girls, even today, with amazing relaxed hair. So sometimes I think it's also about the people you have. I lived in a country where there was hardly anybody who knew anything about our hair, so the relaxer was ordered from America. We kind of read the instructions and kind of did it, and it was like a late decision after my family had shaved all my hair off as a child because nobody knew what to do with my head, and it was like the problem. Like I have this really thick, and negative to say, but people had bad hair because I come from South Africa where that's still really prevalent, the good bad hair debate, and I had bad hair. So
why do you think it's trendy now to be natural?
I think fashion has had a huge impact. So if you read various fashion publications, obviously people like Solange, she kind of became the global natural hair ambassador. You've got people like out in NYC like Tyron Gray, who was incredible. I tweeted her and she tweeted me back during my natural hair journey, which was really supportive. So I think because before you had people in pockets, particularly in the UK and London and places like Liverpool, there is a black community, so you could kind of have a friend doing it and you could support each other. Whereas if you live in Wales or Scotland or Ireland or anywhere else, it wasn't as common. You only found the kids that kept their hair natural, the kids who were usually like Caribbean ancestry or had the good curly hair, which is really negative to say, but you didn't find everybody did it. And I think because in modern times we can reach out and you have visual platforms like Tumblr and Instagram, and you're seeing all this versatility and
everyone's
styles.
learning on YouTube now what to do.
Exactly, so you didn't know how to do stuff, and if you're in a case like I was, where I grew up predominantly with my European family, they didn't have a clue as much as they'd love to have seen my hair natural. Everybody in my family loves it now, and they always like, please don't change it again. But the thing is, they didn't know what to do, so they felt at peace. And sending me to school, they didn't want me to cry, and they didn't want me to be unhappy, and they didn't want me to be sad. So my dad would spend fortunes on weaves just trying to keep me happy and to make me look. So I think now people have a better support network and it's more visible, which has its benefits because we almost feel like we're a community. You don't have to have someone in your neighbourhood to support you, and you can learn. So I think that's probably one of the reasons. I think there's pros and cons to it being a movement. I think it's pros because marketeers, brands are taking more notice. We're getting more product ranges, and even kind of main street shops, because you used to have to go to this dark alley and go to this little Indian man shop and kind of pick your hair products. Now you're going to Boots and being able to get some of the products. Not all of them, and some of them aren't that great because we know what we want. They're just choosing some of the mainstream ones. Though the negative side, I think, is I genuinely believe a lot of people who go on the natural hair journey, whether accidentally, go through a personal journey and discovery, because I think when you start going down that way and you start questioning things and you start looking at history and you start seeing that men, for instance, stopped relaxing their hair sooner, and it was a bit
do you think that everyone that decides to go natural learns about the history behind why we were relaxing or why we were looking for straight hair, or do you think it's just like putting on a new jacket that is cute and in season for 2014?
See, I'm scared. I think people who are doing it in the last 3 years, maybe more doing the learnership in between. And I think now people may be doing it as of this month and next month. They're seeing these ambassadors and maybe they're doing it. But I do think there is some element, even if you didn't get into it for a conscious reason, you didn't go natural for a conscious reason, I do think there is, because you end up attending certain events and you meet certain people, or you're reading certain things and you're finding out stuff that's a lot more interesting than you ever knew. So I think there is
so
consciousness.
Whether it was conscious or unconsciously, when you go natural, you're gonna be exposed to certain things that you weren't before. So, last question. How do you think hair defines a woman?
I think all women, and this is regardless of colour, regardless of natural anything, I think it is like when people say it's your crown, it really is. It's one of the things you feel like you can't really hide all the time. Like I know we can do scarves and stuff now, but I still feel like if that your hair isn't right, you just don't feel right. Like as I said, you can change outfits, you can put Spanx on, you can do all these things, you can put makeup on, but I think your hair is kind of your communication. It kind of says things to you, and people sometimes wrongly or rightly judge people. Like being a naturalista, they think you're of a certain level of education, you have certain ethnic beliefs. Guys sometimes don't approach you, or being a girl who has a blonde weave, they'll think you're like a party girl, which isn't true. You could be a barrister, you could be anything, but people make these assumptions. So I think it kind of indicates your personality sometimes.
So what does your hair say about you, for you?
For me, that I'm happy. I think that's the biggest thing I want to communicate, is that I'm quite chatty. I hope that people kind of see me as friendly, approachable and chatty. Probably when I had my weaves, from what people used to say to me, I think they used to think I was more of a mean girl type of girl who was quite superficial, which was completely untrue, because I'm exactly the same character I've always been.
You just change your hair?
Just changed my hair, and I still like that. I still like that. Even as a naturalista, I can go out and I can have my hair blown, or I can have a weave put in if I feel like it. I don't think that we should feel dictated, and I think there's a lot of pressure put on once you become natural. It's like, you're on our team, you can't leave, you can't do this, you can't stand. I think we should all love one another, and remember, it's all about what you feel confident in, because your hair does give you that comfort, and it's kind of like that weapon to go out in the day, and if you feel good and you're rocking it, then allow people to feel that way.
Thank you very much for speaking with me, and I think your hair says happy, because you are extremely happy.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.